Hey guys, it's Kenny. Welcome to my channel. I took a week off last week because I have just been so uninspired, if that makes sense. With everything that's going on with Corona, the Black Lives Matter movement, and just regular stuff that I'm going through, I have just been not in the best creative spot. So today I just told myself, I was like, I'm gonna just turn the camera on and I'm gonna just talk. So I just want to forewarn you, for my friends that are not African American, I hope for this not to offend you, and for my African American friends, I hope that if you find anything that you don't agree with, instead of writing me off, you could have a healthy conversation about it. These are just my real thoughts. These are how I feel. And I just feel like it should be heard, simply because I just want to bring awareness to a demographic that may not have a voice within this entire situation. So I hope you guys like it. Please watch it in its entirety before you form your opinion or before you make a comment. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so I wanted to, like I mentioned before already, I just wanted to come here and just talk. I have been really on the fence about making a video regarding Black Lives Matter and everything that's going on with the current state. Simply, one, because it's just been stressing me out and it's just a lot, and then two, because I didn't want to seem like I was jumping on a bandwagon, and I think sometimes you can make a point in silent efforts. So I've been trying to promote the Black Lives Matter movement on my page or my Instagram and my Facebook social media, and not try to make a bag off of this movement. But today I was just thinking, and I was just like, wow, there are so many things that have been kind of racing through my mind, and I just want to give you guys a perspective from a, middle-class Black woman, and the fear that I have on a daily basis being married to a Black man. But what I can attest to is that lately, I don't know how to say it, guys. It's just very, very stressful because of everything that's going on. The George Floyd situation, they try to bring up all these men's situation to say, oh, it was probably the fentanyl, or it was drugs, he was a drug user and all this stuff. It does not matter. It doesn't matter what these people did. And so my question is so what are you going to try to bring up for my husband's past if something like this happens to him? And I just don't feel like it's fair as a community to have to go through people trying to make sense of a death, if that makes sense. So like I mentioned to you before, I didn't really necessarily want to say much because I've just been trying to play my part behind the scenes and stuff. But I was talking to my husband the other day, and I don't think people really realize how hard it is being a mother or a spouse of a Black man. Yes, Black women get affected by the situation. We have Sandra Bland. We have the few transgender women that have just passed away the past few weeks. We have tons. We have Breonna Taylor. We have tons of people, right? Like, people are dying left and right. And I shouldn't have to brag about, oh yeah, Black women are getting killed just like Black men. That is not a bragging state at all. But what I'm saying is that I feel like every time my husband leaves the house, he has a target on his back. And it is stressful because I don't want him to leave without me. I don't want him to be outside and say the wrong thing. I don't want him to be outside and question somebody or be with his friends, because we live in a predominantly white town. We don't have many Black friends. Now, I will say most people will think, oh, so, your friends may not be woke and stuff like that. None of our friends have ever done anything to us to make us feel like they say coon type stuff behind our back. Like, our friends are very, very respectful of who we are. I won't say that we all don't see color, but that's not what comes up in our conversations. You know what I'm saying? So Huntsville has been positive for me in a certain extent, besides some of the stuff people have said in the past few years. But I never want my husband to be in a situation to where he's out with his friends and somebody discriminates against him and the people around him don't understand what's going on. And so I've gotten to the point with all these murders that have keep happening. I've gotten to the point to where I don't want my husband to leave without me. I don't want him to, you know, be in a situation to where he can't get himself out of. Not saying that I could save the day, because we've seen what happened with Philando Castile. He got murdered right in front of his baby and his girlfriend. Like, I'm not saying that I could save the day, but I do feel a type of, I feel like I have a type of ownership of being able to take up for my husband, and let alone if I have kids. People ask all the time, do y'all want to have kids and stuff like that? My family is just out here. The first answer for me is no, because look at the world we living in. And I don't ever try to have this conversation with older people, because I don't want it to seem like a slap in the face to you guys, because y'all raised us properly in the neighborhood, but I mean, not in the neighborhood, but in the world. And you know, we've kind of made it, i.e. not gotten killed by gang violence or all this type of stuff. And so when I think of the outside, I think of it as a threat to my family, and I don't think it's fair to be an American to feel like that. So the point for me to making this video, because I feel like I want to make informational videos, is that for people that are not of the African American community, and you don't understand, well, why I'm not going to post a Black Lives Matter thing on All Lives Matter and stuff like that, or because I'm not going through this. I understand. Listen to me clearly. Not all Black people have gone through the same things that are happening on the streets right now. No, but we team together and understand that this can happen to any of us. And I think that's the divide between the races. We don't feel as if our lives are threatened, which I get, because pretty much only African American lives are threatened. And so it's just been, I know I'm rambling, but it has just been very, very, very stressful. Like, me and my husband got in a situation where I didn't feel like going to the store with him because he was getting on my nerves. And the entire time he was gone, I was like stressing. I shouldn't have to feel like that, you know? Like, guys, y'all don't, like, I shouldn't have to feel like that. I really, 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 really just hope that these laws keep getting passed, and that these judges get, or like the DAs and whoever has something to do with putting these police officers behind doors. I hope that that is true, because at one point in life, like I told you guys, I didn't grow up thinking that I was a certain color, or I was not saying a certain color. I've always known I was Black, but I never felt like the opportunities that a white person could get, I wouldn't be able to get. Never felt like that in my life. My parents never raised me like that. But at the same time, it's not saying that I don't feel like that now. I feel like if I came out for a job, and like if I feel like my abilities are seen the same maybe as somebody outside of my race, and that can be confrontational in the Black community, but I feel like that. Like, I don't feel like I'm necessarily judged for that perspective. But what I will say is that I don't feel safe going outside at all. And I just feel like imagine just going down, like, I know most people, you go down the highway, you speeding, nobody goes the speed limit, nobody does. You know, you're going the speed limit, you're doing all this stuff, and you know, if you speed and your heart kind of flutters if you see a police officer. When I tell you my heart skips a beat, it does, and it's just frustrating. It's frustrating to know that I have cousins. I have a cousin in Atlanta, and I worry about him, and I worry about his family. I have my dad in Miami. I worry about him, because it's just, you can't talk yourself out of, like, if somebody wants to hurt you, which it's a high chance that somebody would want to, You can't talk yourself out of it. You can't pay them a certain amount of money. So it's like, at first I had gotten to my mind that, well, maybe I won't be affected by certain things because, you know, we've gotten to this class, or we've gotten to this certain amount of money, you know what I'm saying? Or we make this much money, it won't affect us. That's how I used to think, like back in the day. Like, you know, I just keep moving up the ladder. This won't bother me. This won't bother me. But nah, like it bothers everybody, and it's scary. It's real scary, and I wish that people understood that, you know. You wonder why Black people are so vocal about getting equal rights, and people say, oh, you know, all lives matter. Or you wonder why all these Black people are trying to, you know, support Black-owned businesses, because right now where we are, yes, white people and people that are not African American, we see that you guys are helping us and we appreciate it, you know. But for a very long time we were in this on our own, and we still are. So having you guys help us, it's a nice, because people will start listening, you know. That's still sad, but at the same time, it frustrates me seeing people say, well, why is it all about the Black-owned business? Why do they gotta do this? Why are they making it a Black thing? Why are they doing this? Like, come on now. Like, you can go do whatever you want. If you look at the American dream and how they tell us to live our lives, they say go to college, they say don't do, you know, don't be in the streets, they don't do all this stuff. He's done all of that. He can still get killed. Do you guys hear me? He can still get killed. And so I think that's what blows me. That really is what blows me, because I know my husband doesn't wear his pants sagging. He doesn't do any of that. Like my cousin, my dad doesn't do that. My cousins don't do that. You know, they don't look like the stereotypic African American male. And that's what you used to have to worry about. I think that's what our parents tried to ingrain in us, is that you're not going to look like a stereotype, so they won't treat you like a stereotype, but they're going to treat us however they want to treat us. You see what I'm saying? So I am just saying that tonight, after you watch this video, pray for Black women. Pray for our strength. Pray for, you know, us just knowing that we're gonna get through another day, because I couldn't imagine being Trayvon's mom, Philando's wife. I couldn't imagine being Eric Garner's family. I couldn't imagine going through that. And y'all can't either. You see what I'm saying? You can't, none of us can, until we're put in that situation. So what we need to do is do everything to stop that. We need to defund the police. We need to make sure that we're signing protests. We need to make sure we're calling the governor's office. We need to make sure we're doing all this stuff. So when you think about, oh my God, is the Black Lives Matter thing still going on? Yes, it is, and this is why. Because some people can't sleep at night, and I'm one of those people. That is how this has affected me. It's not because my husband has been thrown on a car before and gotten risked his life just a little bit, or because he's been in jail, or because this. No, it's because of the entire situation. It's the whole system. And so when we ask you guys to help us out and to make a point, and you wondering why Black Lives Matter is still a thing down the road, 2 months later, 3 months later, a year later, until things change, we ain't nobody stopping. You feel me? So that is the reason why it's been such a big issue, because now we all feel it. We all feel it. At one point, it was just a certain community that could feel it, or a certain type of Black person that could feel it, you know. But we all out here, we got people, got smart, educated Black people. We got Black people that wouldn't even vote out here. We got all types of stuff. So I'm just saying, do what you think you can do. Help us out by signing protests, by signing petitions, by calling people, enlightening people. That's the reason why I tell you guys all the time. People look at me all the time like, oh, you only have white friends and stuff like that. But I will tell you this, I'm always educating people on how African Americans look at the world. If you are surrounded by a certain type of person, especially Black people, if y'all are the only Black people around your tight-knit group, you need to be educating people. It's not your, like, just because you live in a world where you think you'll never be affected don't mean that you're not. No. We all can be affected by this, and it is our job to make sure that, You know, we stay together and that we stay close knit and basically try to stay in this fight for each other. I don't know if that makes sense. My makeup probably looks horrible because I'm going all off, but I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to make sure I came on here and just told you guys that, you know, things are changing. And if you feel like the Black Lives Matter movement is just kind of going too long, or you don't understand where it's coming from, if you've ever had a conversation with me, please watch this. I hope that you've watched this in its fullest entirety, because I feel like sometimes the reason why people can't relate or people don't want to help out is because they simply can't relate. They don't understand what's going on. But if you put yourself in the situation, if you put yourself in that situation for just a second, then you would understand what we're going through. So that's it. I hope you guys like this video. I know I was all over the place, but I just wanted to put it out there. I may not even post this video, to be honest with you, but that is here nor there. Thank y'all for being here, and you guys, I love y'all, and I'm out. Okay guys, I hope you guys liked that video. In lieu of everything that's been going on, I have been trying to make sure that I support small businesses. But what I'm going to do and what I'm going to use my platform for, like I mentioned to you guys before, I've been in a creative funk, so I might as well just do a haul on Black businesses. So please guys, send me information of Black businesses that you know personally. But I'm trying to put on people that are just in the roughs, trying to get out there, get their name known. So t-shirt companies, skincare companies, I would like jewelry, clothing companies. Please leave that information down below, or you can send me an email at thatskennyjames@gmail.com. But I will be doing that video, I'll probably say in a month, because I want everything to come in. But I'm so excited to be doing this for our community, and then also just being able to say that, hey, this is something that we all should be doing. Send me that information, guys, and I'm out. Bye.